Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, also known as the two Pokemon games with the cheesiest names ever, were unveiled very recently by the Pokefolks. A little too recently, might I add, because they really made me look bad with the whole Switch May report debacle.
We didn't get any directs or big announcements this month.
Yeah, they made some huge announcement at the end of May right before that video comes out, and suddenly it's obsolete before it even goes up, so thanks for that. But this video isn't about me complaining about last-minute Pokemon announcements. My next Switch Monthly report will have more of that, I'm sure. What this video is about are the games themselves. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are sort of weird games, acting as sort of traditional Pokemon games, but with some interesting twists. And what really stands out about them are the way they integrate aspects of Pokemon Go in the games. So this video will be sort of a general discussion type thing, but I'll also try to focus on the Pokemon Go aspect of things. Specifically, if these new Pokemon games end up bringing and selling old Pokemon Go players, which they are pretty clearly going for, or is the game too old and the players too far gone? Hello all 320 of you, I'm Redkwan, and will Pokemon Go players be sold on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee? And what do I think about the games, because people definitely care about what I have to say because I'm pretty hip. So I'll start off with the main question. Will Pokemon Go players actually jump on board with this game? To be completely honest, I don't think so. This game is clearly meant for Pokemon Go players. It's much more simplified with fairly simple battling mechanics, so the people coming from a very simplified version of the games can catch on. It has the same catching mechanics as Pokemon Go, where you throw the ball at the Pokemon with the flashing circle thing, which gets bigger and smaller, and you get it in that. You know, that one. Plus, it even has an odd accessory Pokeball thing, can allow you to transfer Pokemon into it from Pokemon Go, and it incorporates multiplayer, which was a big part of the Pokemon Go phenomenon. So as a transition game for past Pokemon Go players, it actually sounds like a pretty good solution to me. It makes sense. And I think it would do a good job at giving Pokemon Go players something somewhat familiar, while also being more of a traditional style Pokemon game. But the thing is, I don't think it'll ever have that chance to do that for most people. Pokemon Go was huge for a few months and still kept a good amount of people playing for a long time, but at this point I think it's pretty much all over. I'm sure there are still a good amount of people who play it, but it certainly is nowhere near where it was in the first few months. So I really don't think the Pokemon Go crowd will be big enough to really buy up the game. Also, even though I think if Go players played this game they would enjoy it, and they liked Pokemon Go, I think it's still far too different from Pokemon Go on the surface for a lot of people to give it a shot. It does look pretty different, and if somebody doesn't own the Switch already, that's quite a bit of money to shell out for this new game. And the other thing is, past Pokemon Go players will fall into one of three categories. Either they became Pokemon fans because of Pokemon Go already, they did not become fans and gave up on the game, or they didn't become fans of the main series and still play the game. And for people who already became Pokemon fans, a transition game doesn't make a difference because they've already transferred. For people who still play Pokemon Go and didn't become fans, they're probably content enough with Pokemon Go as a game and don't need to pay for a Switch or at least the game itself to have their Pokemon fixed. For the people who stopped playing Pokemon Go and who aren't fans of the main series, they probably aren't going to be fans of Go and the main series smushed together. So I don't really think, based on that the whole Pokemon Go aspects will get many Pokemon Go players to buy the game. Obviously, being Pokemon, it should sell well anyway, but I think those sales will mainly come from people who are fans of the main series, who just love anything Pokemon rather than Go fans looking to make the jump. As for my overall thoughts on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I think the games look pretty cool actually. I like the idea of multiplayer in a Pokemon game, it's super cool. Exploring and catching Pokemon with someone else seems like it could be really neat. And I also like that they did something different. I think Pokemon is one of the most static, unevolving Nintendo system series, and that's really lame. The Pokemon games today are basically the same as Red and Blue, and changes in catching, battling, and playing are things I really think should be done. I hope the major Switch Pokemon games changes up plenty more than this too. A full revamp is what I would want, because I feel like at this point, Pokemon games are just getting too stale. But on that note, I was a little disappointed in some things that still haven't changed. One of those is the flat linear environments. It's 2018, and Pokemon worlds are still linear, flat, blocky paths, with a top-down 2.5D look. That's one of those things that just bothers me about it. Pokemon is running on the Nintendo Switch, the next power level up from the Wii U, which was able to run things like Breath of the Wild, and Pokemon is still in the 3DS style. I don't know if Game Freak is just not as comfortable with full 3D open environments for Pokemon, if they think this is the best way to do it, or if it was originally going to be a 3DS thing and they just moved it to the Switch and updated it graphically. I don't really know, but it's one of those big things I want the main series game to be. On the whole though, I think Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee look like a fairly cool idea for Pokemon, and I do like that they try to do some new steps with the games. I don't think that they'll recapture the Pokemon Go crowd as much as they hope, but it still should do well anyway, because I don't think anything Pokemon and Flop can ever be said right next to each other. Well, I'm Redkwan. What do you think about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Do you think they look good? Do you think they'll bring fans back? Hopefully I said enough good stuff about Pokemon in this video because, a little foreshadowing here, I might have some critical things to say in the near future. Don't hate me. Anyways, I'm Redkwan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.